The coach of the South Carolina team, which was victorious, is named Dawn Staley. And apparently she's a legend in women's basketball. Now she's coaching. And to his credit, Dan Zakrzewski, he's over at Outkick Sports, got up before that game and put the question to both coaches. The one for Iowa punted, and the one, Dawn, who was coaching South Carolina, answered it as follows. Listen to the Q&A here.
One of the major issues facing women's sports right now is the debate, discussion topic about the inclusion of transgender athletes, biological males, in women's sports. I was wondering if you would tell me your position on that issue.
Yeah, take a
Damn, you got deep on me, didn't you? I'm under the opinion of if you're a woman, you should play. If you consider yourself a woman and you want to play sports or vice versa, you should be able to play. So now the barnstorm of people are going to flood my timeline and be a distraction to me on one of the biggest days of our game. And I'm okay with that. I really am.
Unbelievable. Complete turncoat to womankind. She gets out there, she gets to the position of power, she gets all of her accolades and awards and all of this fawning praise and money. And when she has a chance to do something for women coming up behind her, she pulls up the ladder and says, play against the men. That's what she just did there. And you've got these lefties all over, like Megan Rapinoe, calling her a national treasure, an ally, a revolutionary, because she's just as guilty. There's this columnist over at USA Today Sports, Nancy Armour, who's a repeat violator of women's rights. She can't find the female athlete she wants to protect, who also tweeted out, Dawn Staley is a goddamn national treasure. You're a goddamn national disgrace, madam, because you have a pen in a very large newspaper, dwindling though by the day, and you too could stand up for women, but you're too cowardly to do it. And you know why? You're not a mother. You don't have to worry about your daughter having to face some 6'4" man out on the basketball court like I do. So I don't want to hear from you. Dawn Armour, or Nancy Armour's bio, she calls herself a proud aunt of 3 boys, so she doesn't even have nieces. And she says, I don't have all the answers, but I'm always looking for more of them. I've got one for you, Nancy. Shut the fuck up until you know what you're talking about. Because girls are getting hurt by male basketball players posing as girls. I take you out to Massachusetts, where Lowell was playing in a game. The Lowell school was playing in a game, and they had to call it at the half because 3 players got hurt. Look at this girl in the black shirt go down. That's a man pretending to be a girl who took the ball from her. Look at her. You watch this, Nancy. Dawn. You two watch this. Look at her, writhing in pain after she was injured by a boy pretending to be a girl, trying to get up. She can't. She's so hurt. 2 others, 3 total got hurt. They called the game. It's happening over and over and over and over. I'm so sick of these women who are so terrified of the woke mob or trying to shore up their own bona fides with this crowd, afraid to say what they know is right, which is it's not safe and it's not fair. And I have a daughter who played basketball just weeks ago. And the thought of her going up against a biological man on that court is terrifying. She would be in danger. But because this legend, Dawn, decides to look woke and empathetic, she's endangered her. And all the other girls who play in this sport, we've had this discussion before, you guys. I just get so fired up about it because not even a nod toward the issues that biological girls will face if this does get permitted. And by the way, it's technically okay right now in the NCAA. Dave, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, look, there actually was a nod, right? It was a silent nod. It was the 17 and a half minutes that it took Dawn Staley to answer the question between sips of water, right? Because she knows She knows how abjectly absurd this is. Everybody involved in the conversation knows how abjectly absurd it is. You show that video or you show the picture of Leah Thomas towering over, the women who she just beat in a swimming event. You can't convince the American people that this is normal or this is okay. Right now, Dawn Staley doesn't have to deal with it, right? I guarantee you, Megyn, had 20 minutes later, Iowa decided, you know what, we're going to start the center from the men's basketball team. Because lo and behold, he's suddenly just decided he's a woman. I bet Dawn Staley would have had a problem with that, right?
You're so right.
Until people are confronted with it, they're willing to say, oh, well, it's none of your business. What's the difference? You go back to the germ of the whole trans issue, and that was the number one argument. The number one argument was, come on, guys, this is 0.000% of the population. It doesn't have any impact on your life. Well, that changed because there's women's prisons, there's women's shelters, there's women's sports, there's actual public policy at stake here. And so Dawn Staley's a coward. She proved herself to be a coward, and what else is new?
She is a coward. I'm sorry. She's a coward. You're right. This isn't her first foray into the social justice wars, and we've seen the evidence of it in the past, Stu. She was, in 2021, she was behind her team, had no problem with them taking the knee when we played the national anthem. I think we've got video of it. Stand by. That's her team, all squatting down. The reason the national anthem was playing, all coaches stood. She thought it was fine. She's tweeted out quite a bit on the social justice wars after Jacob Blake had his run-in with cops in Wisconsin where he pulled a knife on them and then wound up shot. She said the reporting was she hopped on Zoom calls with local reporters knowing she was the only prominent black coach at South Carolina to speak about Jacob Blake. She tweeted past ridiculous with yet another black man shot by cops in front of our very eyes. How many more before we see this end? I'm all for canceling all things sports to focus on this matter. Hashtag BLM. When a disgruntled claimed to be done with Staley after her support of Jacob Blake, she vowed to be herself. Take it, leave it. I'll leave it, madam. I'll leave it because you're coming at these issues from a place of over emotionality and not facts.
And the facts are what is important, right? We're supposed to care and protect our daughters. That's supposed to be something obvious. My son is 12 years old and plays a lot of sports. The biggest, strongest kid on his baseball team also plays football. And last year, while playing tackle football, he broke his back in a game. 12 years old. God. Now, thankfully, he is fully recovered. But he's a really strong kid, a big kid. And you think about this type of thing when you're talking about a sport where contact is involved, and in basketball, it's a part of the game. You put up girls against boys in that realm, like really bad things can happen. We should be doing everything we can to protect women. And a lot of people would think, well, football is a different thing. It's a physical sport. And it's true, but why do you think it's a different thing? If there's no difference between these genders, if there's no problem with this, why wouldn't you want your daughter playing football with a bunch of boys? You wouldn't, because it's insane. It's obviously insane. And you watch this and you can't believe people come to these conclusions. And I will say on her answer in particular, if it's taking you that long to answer, there's a reason for it. There's some line you're trying to walk. Honestly, if it takes that long, that was about the most egregious example I've ever seen. If it takes you that long to answer a question, the only thing you should do at that point is fake a medical condition. Just like act like you're about to faint and then fall over. It's your only way out of it. Well,
here's how the other coach, the coach of Iowa responded, which in defense of Dawn Staley, the other coach went second. So it was probably easier, right? Because she was conferring with her team. Holy shit, they're going to ask me that question. Here's how she answered.
Well, thank you for the question. I understand it's a topic that people are interested in. But today, my focus is on the game tomorrow, my players. It's an important game we have tomorrow, and that's what I want to be here to talk about. But I know it's an important issue for another time.
Better. By the way, it wasn't just Lynn, Massachusetts, where a 6-foot tall male tried to play against girls And in that particular instance, I told you 3 girls got hurt. In San Francisco, we just saw this at Waldorf High School. The captain of the girls' team, a boy, Henry, competed in girls' sports for at least the last 3 years, ranked number 4 in scoring in the North Coast section of California with an average of 20.8 points per game, and at a January game, scored 26 points, towering over the girls. Dawn Staley wants a whole lot more of it. I don't want my kid having anything to do with that NCAA or women's NBA. It's wrong. It's wrong on just so many levels, and more of us need to say it. I want to tell you about Gen 90, the latest breakthrough in skincare from our friends over at Genucel. Those bags under your eyes from lack of sleep, being overworked, stress, and even those seasonal allergies that come with spring weather, Gen 90 can help. It also helps around the eyes, the forehead, crow's feet, laugh lines, even the chin, and it starts working in seconds. Gen 90 technology is luxurious. It's silky smooth. Now you can get Genucel's classic under-eye bags and puffiness serum with every Gen 90 order, and also get their luxurious Genucel XV Collagen Builder Moisturizer with vitamin C and hyaluronic acid in a pure natural base for stunning results day after day. Go to Genucel.com Genucel.com right now for incredible packages, over 50% off during Genucel's spring sale. Results are guaranteed or your money back, plus get an extra 10% off automatically applied to checkout. Genucel.com/MK60, check it out. Order right now and get a free limited edition spa box and bonus gifts and free shipping. That's Genucel.com/MK60, GENUCEL.com/MK60. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.